Minnesota Office of the State Auditor presents the Schedule Form, Home, and Active tabs. This online training session will discuss the Home and Active tabs of the Schedule Form, or SC Form for short. Defined benefit lump sum relief associations complete the SC Form to determine the plan liabilities, surplus or deficit amount, and the required municipal or independent nonprofit firefighting corporation contribution for the following calendar year. After the Excel version of the SC form is downloaded from SAFES and opened, the Home tab is displayed. There are several additional tabs across the bottom menu bar. The Home tab provides a link to the SC form's written instructions, the SC form due date, a link to SAFES, and a link to the SAFES training video. The Home tab also shows if there are any red error messages within the form. Red error messages indicate that data must be entered or corrected before the form can be submitted. When the data has been entered or corrected, the red message will no longer be displayed. The Home tab also shows the form version number. The version number is helpful information if our office needs to troubleshoot any problems that arise. Before beginning the Active tab, there are a few required documents you will need. First, obtain a roster of the Relief Association's active, inactive, and deferred members. Next, you will need birth dates, entry dates, and leave of absence amounts for each member. A copy of past and current Relief Association's bylaws will also be needed. Finally, payment information for any members paid during the reporting year is also needed. Once you have all of the required documents, click on the tab titled Active in the lower left corner of the Excel file. The purpose of this tab is to determine the liabilities for all active and inactive members of the Relief Association. The surplus or deficit and the required contribution amounts will then be determined based on the liability amounts entered on this tab. Begin by entering the annual benefit level in effect for the corresponding calendar year of the SC form. If the benefit level changes before the end of the year, the SC form will need to be revised to reflect the new benefit level, and new signatures will need to be obtained on the revised SC form. Next, enter the minimum age to receive retirement benefits specified in the Relief Association's bylaws in the second box. The age entered is required to be at least 50. Finishing up the top section, enter the number of years with the fire department the bylaws require for full vesting. This would be the number of years of active service a member needs to be 100% vested in their service pension. The number entered is required to be at least 10 years of active service and cannot exceed 20 years. After entering the benefit level, minimum age, and requirements for full vesting, notice that the form automatically calculates and totals the active member liabilities. As a reminder, the SC form calculates an estimated liability amount based on a formula that differs from the service pension calculation and should not be used to determine a member's service pension amount. If last year's SC form was submitted before downloading the current year's SC form, much of the member data on the active and deferred tabs will be pre-populated. Please review the pre-populated data to ensure accuracy and make corrections or updates as needed. To add a member, scroll down to find the first available blank row and enter the member's name, birth date, and entry date. Next, select the member status from the drop-down list in the box under the status column. After the member is added, notice that the form automatically calculates the years of service and liability amount for the new member. Keep in mind that the SC form provides an estimate of the rate of accumulation of actuarial liabilities and determines an annual contribution necessary to finance the forecasted costs. The years of service and liabilities calculated on the SC form do not represent the actual service credit or benefit accrued for any member. The actual benefit must be determined on an individual basis when a member applies for payment using actual years of service, vesting, and benefit provisions as provided in the Relief Association's bylaws in effect on the date the member separated from active service and active membership. If a vested member has separated from active service, but the member has not requested a service pension, or has not met the minimum age retirement specified in the Relief Association's bylaws, change the member's status to deferred. Information on how to add the member to the deferred roster is included in the next training video regarding the deferred and deferred interest rates tabs of the SC form. If a member separated from active service before becoming vested, choose the separated/not vested status from the drop-down list. Because the member did not meet the vesting requirements, they are not entitled to a pension, and the form automatically reduces the member's liability to zero. Members with a status of separated not vested will not be included on the pre-populated data on the following year's SC form. If a member was paid during the year, change the member status to paid and enter the member's liability in the projected service pension section of the financial projections tab of the SC form. When a member's status is changed to paid, the form automatically removes their liability from the active tab, and the amount will need to be entered as an expense on the financial projections tab. Members with the status of paid will not be included in the pre-populated data on the following year's SC form. If a member has had one or more leaves of absence or breaks in service during their career, review the Relief Association's bylaws to determine the appropriate service credit. Enter the cumulative length in months of the leave or break in service in the Leaves of Absence and Breaks in Service box. For example, if a member had a prior leave of absence of 18 months and had a leave of absence of 6 months during the reporting year, enter 24 months in the Leaves of Absence and Breaks in Service column. Notice that the form automatically reduces the member's years of service by the length of the leave or break added. If a member was on a leave of absence or break in service at the end of the reporting year, change the member's status to inactive and increase the leave of absence amount by the number of months the member was on a leave of absence during the year. Members with a status of inactive will be included in the pre-populated information on the following year's SC form. If a member had a leave of absence or break in service during the year and was active on December 31st of the year, increase the leave of absence amount by the length of the leave and leave the member status unchanged. If the member was a return to service member, click on the arrow and select Yes from the drop-down menu. A return to service member is a member who resumed active service after a break in service or leave of absence, and the member's service pension or benefit will be calculated according to a return to service bylaw provision. If the member has not received a service pension for their prior periods of active service, the member's entry date is the entry date they initially joined the fire department. The leave of absence and break in service column should be the total number of months between the member's periods of active service and any leave of absence they may have incurred during their career. The active tab of the SC form is complete after the information for the remaining active and inactive Relief Association members has been entered. This concludes our online training video on the Home and Active tabs of the SC form. To view all SC form training videos from our homepage, visit the Fire Relief Association's page, and under the Training Opportunities box, click the button View All Training Opportunities for Fire Relief Associations.